What's up, guys? I'm back again. Today's video is going to be an overview of my Tuttminx. I've had this puzzle for a while now. I just decided to make a review on it. And I'm going to be obviously experimenting with new camera styles, angles. I'm just using my webcam right now. Let's see how I like this angle. Of course, I'm sacrificing video quality, but also won't have that like narrow column view, I suppose. Okay. So anyways, about this puzzle. This puzzle, it just started being really mass-produced in the, I guess what you would say, like, mainstream cube sites, not that long ago. It was originally designed by a guy whose last name was Tutt in 2005. I can't remember his first name, but, he invented the puzzle and named it after himself, and initially, the puzzle's mechanism was very, very complicated, and it didn't work very well at all. This new revised version of the puzzle, it's obviously much more like sleek and smooth, and you know, coheres more to standards of cubing nowadays. The mechanism actually, he must have been, this guy must have been a genius or something. Like, he designed this mechanism that actually had these faces, you know, kind of like a I don't even really know, but each had its own individually, like, turning face. I'm not really sure how to describe it. If you want to look it up, go to twistypuzzles.com. They have a pretty in-depth overview of what the Tuttminx used to be, but that's not really what this video is about. It's about Tuttminx now. It's from Very Puzzle. I ordered it. Cost somewhere in the neighborhood of like $60, I think. And what's really unique about this puzzle that most people wouldn't expect, you know, at first glance, is that a bunch of the faces are hexagonal, like this, and then some of the faces are pentagonal, which means 5 sides and 6 sides. The pentagonal faces you can rotate any which way, and then make another turn. But these faces, the 6-sided ones, you can only make double turns with them, so you can't go like this. I don't know if you can tell from this angle, but it's kind of messed up. It doesn't quite line up. You need to do double turns because there's 2 separate types of edge pieces. If you'll notice, this type of edge piece is slightly smaller than this one, and that gets me into the topic of jumbling. Initially, people thought this puzzle would jumble, which means, you know, the pieces could go in ways that would make the puzzle like non-uniform in shape. Like, for instance, making just a single turn on a 6-sided face. And you can do it. You're not supposed to. The only way this can be achieved on this puzzle is if you have very loose tension, which I do have my puzzle very loosely tensioned, so if I wanted to, I can turn this face like this and it starts to like jam up, which obviously isn't good to do. So yeah, you want to avoid doing that. Like, it drives me crazy because, you know, every time somebody sees this puzzle, they're like, oh man, let me check that out, and then they you know, completely mess it up by jumbling layers, which means I really should tighten the tension of this puzzle, but I don't want to do that just because other people being careless with it, despite what I tell them. So I'm going to go ahead and leave my tensions loose. They're very, very loose. That's just the way I like it. But if you're to get a puzzle, I think the general consensus, like general recommendation, is that you have it tightly tensioned to avoid jumbling. Let's see what else is there about this puzzle. I guess I'll take it apart really fast. I'm going to take apart just one layer so you guys can check out the inside mechanism. Since I have the tension so loose, it should be pretty easy for me to do this. There we go. Just bear with me for a moment. So rather than complex structure of faces interacting with one another, like the original Tuttminx, this Tuttminx rather just has a gigantic sphere on the inside in which all the pieces rotate around. This makes the puzzle very easy to lubricate and makes for much better performance as well. Yes, these sides are tensionable, obviously. You can take these little center caps off. I'm sorry, can you? Because when I tension this puzzle, I don't remember doing any of these smaller faces. That doesn't look like it comes off. Well, excuse me for being ill-prepared. But, I know for a fact that you can get the caps off of these larger centers, like this one. And, I want to see really fast if I can pop this off. It doesn't look like it wants to come off. That'll be something I'll have to make an update on really fast. Or if any of you have this puzzle, I'm sure you can figure that out on your own. Let's see, what else did I know there's something else I wanted to say about this thing. Oh, right. And solving it. Man, it does take quite a long time. It's almost like solving a Megaminx, and you know the step where you do the V's, where you get those. Well, if you've solved a Megaminx, you know what I'm talking about. But it's very similar to doing that, but like 40 times in a row. Not 40 literally, but the process is very long, and it can, honestly, it was kind of boring up until the end, when I was able to actually use some intuitive processes and that were more complex than just simply placing pieces where they need to go. The end of the puzzle, there's two ways you can finish it out. You can leave a 5-sided layer as your last layer, or a 6-sided layer. I honestly think leaving a 6-sided layer would be easier, because if you leave a 5-sided layer, then the only turns you can make in order to make changes to it are double turns, and you have to work only with double turns. It gets kind of confusing, and I think this puzzle would have been much easier to solve had I left a pentagonal face to solve last. It's a real fun one to solve. I recommend it, and it's probably the coolest puzzle in my collection. Obviously, it's the most shocking puzzle that most people that have never seen anything rather than a Rubik's brand 3x3 have ever seen. It gets a lot of undesired attention, but and the size of it, I mean, it's pretty big. It's about the size of a softball. Here I have a 3x3. Just to compare the size, this is a Dan Guhong, or is this a good one? Yeah. So there they are, right next to each other. This thing's pretty large, like I said, pretty close to the size of a softball. And so I think that brings a wrap to the Tuttminx. I'll just pop these pieces back in here really fast. And let's see here. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching. Alright guys, I'm back with this issue of center caps on the pentagonal faces. I'm really not sure what I was thinking. I guess it just escaped my memory really fast. I do remember getting these off, and I remember using this tool. This is my, anytime I need to remove center caps that are difficult to remove from a puzzle, I use this thing. It works pretty pretty well. Flathead screwdriver makes it a lot easier than using your fingernails, especially if you don't have fingernails. Just gonna get it under there. Comes off fairly easily, and then you can see there's a screw in there. Okay, so that's that. Thanks again for watching.